But yeah, so talk to us a little bit about those philosophical questions and how they play a role in, I guess, all of our career choices and personal choices.
Well, let me start with a bit of humility, which I should express. Uh, the older I get, the more I realize, uh, you have to pick up your own, like your own roadmap, your own values. Values are subjective. They're values. My values may not
Mm,
correspond with your value. Everybody has different values. But there are some areas where there are some like general questions that I think everybody has to sort of grapple with, and you've just hit on them. These two questions of who am I and why am I here? It's not that I dreamed up those
mm,
questions. I'm not intelligent enough to come up with stuff like that. But they're philosophical, sort of primary questions. And if you have to tackle a question like that in your life, which we all, I think, sooner or later have to come across, uh, I think the better you answer the question, the clearer your life will be. The road that you need to travel will be, and perhaps the happier your life will. So I think I shared with you, or if I didn't, I'd like to share. Like when I teach a class of students, I'll ask them, hey, let's start with this question. What's the purpose to life? What's the purpose of
mm.
life? Why are we here? And give me some answers. It's not a trick question. Just, there's no right answer to this. Just give me some answers. And so they give me answers and they say things like, well, to love, or to be as great as you can be, to reach for the stars, and to select meaningful goals, progressive, meaningful goals, and achieve them, or to love, to procreate, to study, to love, to procreate, and to leave a legacy, and so on. And they're all good answers. Those are some pretty good answers. And then I have this kind of an answer. It's not a perfect answer. It's not the full answer, but my answer, a good one, is to find your God-given unique ability and to put it into the service of others is, I think, part of the answer, a piece of the life puzzle. And then you go from there, and you got to ask yourself, well, what is my unique ability? And that's a search that's not easy to undertake, but I have a method I can suggest for you. And if you let me, I'll just go through the
Sure.
method here. Okay. So if you took me, you put my name on the top of a piece of paper, Andy Semotiuk, and then you numbered down the side of the paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I started putting in answers to the question, what are my skills and abilities? What are the best skills and abilities that I have? We go down the paper. I'd put things like making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, riding a bicycle, speaking English, writing an article, and so on, down, practicing law or whatever it is down. I'd make a list. But since we don't have a lot of time, what I'm going to propose is that let's imagine I have a computer right over here beside me. This is a fantastic computer that has access to everything in the world about Andy Semotiuk. It's connected to all the health databases, all the educational databases, police databases, whatever it is. Every every library in the world, it's got all the answers there. And we asked that computer, listen, we're in a hurry. Can you make a list of all of Andy's skills and abilities? I'd suggest to you that it would make a long list. And then we would say to the computer, you know what, this list is so long. Let's categorize it into 4 categories. incompetent, competent, excellent, unique ability. Could you pop this out into one of those four categories, each one into one of those four categories? Well, it would do that, let's say, in 5 seconds. And now we got this sort of matrix or whatever, a graph. I would suggest to you that if we had such an exercise and such a computer, what would happen is the visual you would get at the end of it is that it would categorize all these things into kind of a bell curve. In the incompetent category, there'd be a few things. In the competent, a lot more things. In the excellent, a lot of things. And then in the unique ability, a few things as well. Would you agree
Mhm.
that that's
Yeah.
likely? Oh, and if that's the case, now, for example, in my case, if the computer was looking at it, it would put in the incompetent category. It would say, doing income tax returns. I know I'm incompetent. The computer would know I'm incompetent. My accountant knows I'm incompetent. IRS knows I'm incompetent, and the world knows I'm incompetent. And in the middle, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, riding a bicycle, and all this other stuff would be there in the middle in the bell curve. And over on the other side would be unique ability. Now, in my case, and there's a lot of story behind this, but I'm just going to declare that I think my unique ability is communication skills. In writing, it's communication by writing. I write for Forbes. I've been writing for Forbes for 10 years. I'm a former UN correspondent. I've written 4 books. Those are signals that I probably have a unique ability in that category. On the speaking front, I was a Toastmaster for 35 years. I got this award that's up here up my shoulder, the Distinguished Toastmaster Award, which is the highest award you can get in Toastmasters for speaking and also leadership. And now it took me 35 years to get that one. There are Toastmasters that get that in 6 months. But anyway, that's another signal that probably that's an area where I have some unique ability. Anyway, so that's how you would figure it out, and it just to bring this to sort of to land this question, you have to ask yourself, well, what do you love? What are you good at? What do other people say you're good at? What would you do even if you weren't paid just because you love doing it? What activity do you love so much that when you do it, time dissolves and you may be spending like 2, 3 hours at it, but when you come out of it, you look at your watch and you say, I thought I was only there for 20 minutes and it's 3 hours later. Those are signals that you're in your unique ability. It's sometimes called flow or the zone. Athletes call, when they're playing their best, sometimes they say they're in their zone, like tennis players. They're really just doing so well when they're playing their zone. That's a signal they're in their unique ability. And so that's what I'm all about, trying to find your unique ability and putting it into the service.